connecting you to the knowledge that will empower yourself, how you're feeling, how you're doing. So, stop doing this if you want to be authentic and effective in leading your life. Stop doing this. What is this? You might ask the man. What is this? What should I stop? Stop making unconscious choices around decisions, actions, and goals that are not in alignment with your values and what you want from your life. Because if what you do is not valuable and worthwhile to the way you want to lead your life and what you want, it will not work. It just won't. And it's funny because there's a book I read. I want to share this book with you. There's a book I read called The Parable of the Pipeline, right? If you want to check it out, I'll probably put the link in the description. But it's called The Parable of the Pipeline: How Anyone Can Build a Pipeline of Ongoing Residual Income in the New Economy. And I read this years ago, and it confirms some experiences I had early in my life, and it was really about choices. It's like the choices we make in life. When we make conscious choices around what we stand for, we feel better within ourselves because we're making that decision from the heart, and it's not just from a confused mind, right? And so, like I'm gonna read a passage from this. It said, "Parable of the pipeline." So, pipelines are lifelines. They're self-sustaining. They may need priming from time to time and repairs, perhaps even rebuilding. But pipelines can keep pumping profits year after year. And then it said, your choice. Your choices, not chance, determine your destiny. All right? Your choices, not chance, determine your destiny. So, what does that mean? We can't just be chancing things and taking risk or doing things willy-nilly. All right? We can't just be doing things based on circumstances, but not based on an actual conscious choice that we're making. Gorilla George VR, how you doing? Hi, good to see you. And so it's important that we stop making unconscious choices. And it's important that we stop making conscious choices that don't connect or align with who we are or what we would want from our life. So, for example, ask yourself, what do you stand for? For me, what do I stand for? I stand for empowerment, love, and abundance, and more things. But if you used to name three different things in your life that you stand for, three different value systems. So I value empowerment. What does that mean? It means to power my mind, power every aspect of my life. Hi, can you see this? Let me know, bro. Steve. Hey, Steve, how you doing? And so also abundance. I believe that there's unlimited possibilities and opportunities in the world, and then everyone gets to have what they want. There's no lack. That's my belief, and that's what I stand for. I stand for you being able to do what you want and to thrive in every aspect of your life. Okay, and for love, I love unconditionally. I will love you regardless of what you do. I may not even agree with what you do, but as long as you respect, I will respect you in how you operate. Jamba Juicy, she asks, "What's your work?" So what's my work? So I do many things, but for once, I'm a accountability consultant. So what I do is I support leaders to be more accountable in their lives, to lead their work life effectively, and to really increase their productivity. And so I support them to reach their highest potential, to master their mind, and I enjoy doing that. So on the side, I'm also a holistic health practitioner and entrepreneur. So yeah, I, I like I'm very tapped into a lot of things, and so thank you, MF. I appreciate that, and I'm trolling chill. Appreciate you. Keyhan says that you look like the guy from that video. Which video? I'm not sure. I'm not sure which video you're talking about. But really, put in the chat, like, what are 3 things in your life that you stand for? And every choice that you make in your life, are you making choices that align with that? You know what I mean? So, for example, let's say you're taking you're applying for a job. Is this a job that you can actually see yourself doing? Is this a job that you can see yourself like being happy at? You know, or what industry do you want to go into? Do you see yourself thriving in that area? Because you have to see it, because a vision is only going to be a great vision if it's impactful and worthwhile. And so, and especially in this life, because the world is confusing at this moment. But you have to find your own sense of non-confusion. You have to find your own sense of clarity and be crystal clear about it. Hi, Judith Sargent. How you doing? Gracie, say Amelia. Okay, is that your name? I'm not sure, but yeah. So let me just go back to this. I think you guys should definitely read this book, because it talks about two different people, and it's Daryl and Margaret. So they take 2 different routes, and to get to the same place, they take 2 different routes to get to the same place. But one person is struggling because they're not allowing themselves to do what is easy and efficient, and that will put less stress on them. Whereas the other person is doing efficient work, which they love, and they're not putting as much work in because they create a system which is going to give the same output with little input, right? And so the parable of the pipeline is really saying that you can't, if you want a lot of water to travel in your life, or you want to, let's say even in the terms of income, let's say you want multiple streams of income. Would you prefer to make those multiple streams with carrying buckets of water, you know, to your destination? Or would you like a pipeline where the water is just flowing? What would you want? Judith Sargent, you subscribe. Thank you, Judith. I appreciate you. Trey Robinson, no. Why not says stress is a part of life. Is how you deal with that stress is what matters. Exactly. And even just to double down on what you just said just then, stress comes when there is overwhelm and confusion in our life. It comes as a result of mental and physical exhaustion, because we're going beyond what our capacity is. And so when it's a case of, are we building up that mental muscle? Are we building up that physical muscle, that emotional muscle, so that we can handle what life gives us and not be overwhelmed, not be burnt out, not be stressed? Are we putting the right fuels in our body so that our body is not overwhelmed, not burnt out, not stressed? Judah says, do you live in the USA? I do not live in the USA. I live in the UK. I live in the UK. Where are you from? Let me know where you all are tuning in from. Okay. Let me know. Or WSP. No idea what that means. No idea what that means. So Israel, Australia, Russia. Oh, nice. Okay. And so yeah. So peace to the international audience. How you doing? And Like ask yourself, what have you prioritized lately? Like what have you done in your life that you truly know is important to you and that matters? And then ask yourself, how did you feel when you did that versus how you felt when you was doing an activity or a task that it wasn't in alignment with what you want, or it wasn't in alignment with what you actually wanted to do with your time. Like, how did that make you feel? So work. So Judas says work. And that's a common theme. Sometimes we don't balance that out because sometimes I remember a few years back I used to work in I used to work in his warehouse, right? Multiple warehouses, like, and then just taking up boxes and whatnot. And what was crazy is that in my workplace I was surrounded by people that, and I would ask all of them. I was like, oh, so I know you're working here, but what's your like dreams and goals? Like, what do you want to do? And they would tell me, but then also they would dismiss their dreams and goals. They'd be like, yeah, I want to do this, but I don't think I can do that. I don't see that happening. It's like I'll just be okay here for now. And I was like, whoa, you're okay? No, you're okay here in this dungeon, which you call Amazon warehouse or whatever warehouse that was packing goods. Like, people around me, they was like looking like this is like with the Walking Dead. It's like, am I the only one like full of joy right now? Because I know because the thing is, what's funny is that I always knew that what I wanted to do. So I've been packing around my house, for example, and I was looking at my yearbook from 2012. So it's my yearbook from 2012. And then, when you put in a yearbook, oh, what do you want to ambitions? What do you want to do when you leave school? What I literally wrote down, I want to be successful in whatever I choose to do in life. So my mind was always towards what do I choose to do in life that looks like success for me. For me, that was contribution, impact, and connecting people to knowledge that will empower themselves in their mind, body, and spirit. Because what has empowered me is helping me move forward on my journey of personal growth and development. And what's working for me, I can see that working for others. Also, what city do you live in the UK? I live in London. So it's funny. So I'm about a bus ride away from the Olympics. So if you know about London 2012 Olympics, yeah, I was there. Like, I saw all the changes that happened around London. Very interesting. Yes, very interesting. And so yeah, so I knew the directions, even though I wasn't certain at the time. Like, okay, what exactly do I want to do? I know I want to be in health, sports science. I know I like this. I know I like the mindset. But what do I get to do? And then, so as the years went along, I realized that we really are in a new economy where you get to do what you're passionate about alongside whatever work you do. So you can go to work, and when you get home, that's when you get into your creative space, which is gonna support your living, or the lifestyle that you actually want to live, right? So it's really important to have really important to educate yourself about yourself, because we say negative things to ourselves, or we speak things into our life which are illusions, or just are really false and inauthentic to who we are. And just and we're literally creating confusion, because we're doing we're doing things out of alignment with our actual being. Like, if someone was to describe you, how would they describe you? Would they say, oh, um Judith's a caring person. Judith's a happy person. Judith is a very intelligent person. But would Judith say that about herself? And if Judith says that about herself, behind closed doors and in front of and outside, that means her thoughts are becoming her actions. So everyone's seeing her actions because her thoughts and her actions are aligned. They're together. And then if you go a step forward, whatever your thoughts and actions are communicating in your life, what do you get to do with that? You get to work on something and build a pipeline that is going to support your being and support growing you in your authenticity. So working on something that is going to activate your intelligence, working on something that's going to activate your happiness factors, working on something that's going to create joy just by producing this body of work. It could be wherever it is, music, dancing, designing, content creation, you name it. But you have to ask yourself, what does that look like? And then you have to ask yourself, what does those relationships around you look like? Stop making unconscious choices about the relationships you have in your life. Stop making unconscious choices about the health you attract in your life. Stop making unconscious choices about the finances you attract in your life. Stop making unconscious choices about the self-care that you say you want but are not even doing anything about it. Stop making unconscious choices, because we all have a consciousness, right? And we have something called the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind is the operating system of our actions. So whatever's happening in our mind, like especially when we're on autopilot, when we're sleeping, you better talk to yourself nicely before you go to sleep, because you might wake up groggy, all right? You might not wake up energized, all right? You might not be speaking in the way that you desire to speak, because maybe the media is infiltrating your mind. Maybe you're surrounded in an environment of people who are not speaking nice to you, but you're not able to override it yet. Are you building those boundaries? Are you building that mental muscle, that emotional muscle, to not only withstand where you are, but to propel to where you want to be? That's something you get to ask yourself. Okay? Because we don't get to be carrying buckets. We get to be building pipelines. Okay? And so if you want to build pipelines, literally, I want you to comment if you really desire to thrive in your life, to really live a authentic and effective life and lead it, be a leader of your life. I want you to put thrive in the comments, in the chat below, like THRIVE, thrive, because we're gonna be getting out. We're getting out survival. We're not gonna be in survival mode. We're gonna be in thriving mode, and that only happens when we prioritize what truly matters. That only happens when we prioritize what truly matters. Okay, so I'm gonna love you and leave you, and I want get this book. It's a nice read, nice little read. And you know what? Let me I'll leave you with one more quote from this. What is another quote that stood out to me? Let me see. Okay, I think it was at the beginning of the book. Find it. Oh, there we go. Okay, so yes, so just to emphasize the pipelines being your lifelines. So when it comes to building your pipelines, on page 4 it says, pipelines are designed to take the worry out of people's lives by putting profits into their pockets. But most of all, Pipelines are designed to give people personal and financial freedom and lifelong security. In short, pipelines are lifelines. So personal and financial freedom. It doesn't just have to be about the profits, but profits can come in a sense of energy. Is that energy exchange profitable to your mind? Is that energy exchange profitable to your body? Is that energy exchange profitable to your spirit? Like, are you drinking water that is profitable to the system we call the body? Is what you're reading profitable to this thing we call the brain and the mind? Is what we are doing in our life, the conscious choices that we're making, is that profitable in every aspect of our life? Now, that's something that you get to ask yourself. And I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments. This is Devan Edwards, aka Devan the Connector, connecting you to the knowledge that will empower yourself. Like, share, subscribe, and share your biggest takeaways from this video, and share with a friend who needs to stop making unconscious choices, okay? And start leading an authentic and effective life, because you deserve it, and anyone around you deserves it, okay? So stay empowered, and just remember, the connection continues. Take care.